Kienyeji sio. Amepata promo. So for me, I just believe now that we have a new government, I believe tunaona kila mtu akona hiyo bidii ya kusema wasanii vitu zita change and all that. And I come from a point of information being I've been in the board in one of the CMOs for so many years, and I know how it works, how everything operates. And if the government is serious, I know which this government na believe imekuja na hiyo seriousness will change so much. And peer support from the media, which really matters, because as much as tunapiga kelele hapa na pale, is for you guys to highlight and say this is going on, this is what the artists are facing. And si kila siku tunakuja hapa kulia. Sometimes when there's progress, we say there's progress, and when somewhere we feel something must be lobbied and something must be changed, we are here and we'll fight. For us who've been here for coming in close to 20 years, we don't fight sometimes even for us wenyewe, tunafight even the next generation, because most of us here utapata wengine pia vijana wetu, brothers wetu wadogo wanataka kuwa musician, sisters wetu wadogo wanataka kuwa musician. If you don't fight now, who will fight? So I believe that's our stand, and as artists we know what we are doing, we know what you are saying, and we are very very powerful people in this society. Thank you so much.
Mwana umekuwa kitrend sana kwa social media. Kisema natafuta kienyeji. Sijui kama umepata.
Bado sijapata. It's a matter of I think for me I believe I was misquoted. But I can't complain. You know, it's not that like I'm complaining. I'm just saying I was misquoted, but it's not a bad thing. For me, it was more of mtu aliniuliza. I was doing an interview, and the presenter asked me, "Are you dating?" I was like, "I'm not dating." "Are you looking for one?" And I was like, "I'm not looking for one." And she was like, "When are you planning to start dating?" I was like, "When I'll be ready, I'll let you know." And then akaniuliza aje, "So when you start dating, which kind of a woman are you looking for?" Nikamwambia, for me, I'm looking for a God-fearing woman, a woman who has been brought up in the village, and preferably a dark-skinned lady. So the interview went out, and from there, everything changed. I think ili hit Twitter, and KOT wakasema, this is a definition of a Kienyeji woman. And that's when the story of Kienyeji started. And I was like, okay, so sio mimi nilisema, it's just guys picked it up and rolled with it, and I was like, I can't fight it. Let me flow with it.
Also, in case umepata broiler, you just go with her, ama?
No, okay. In fact, even right now, kwanza broiler ni nani?
Broiler is the opposite of kienyeji.
So Kienyeji nani? And I've asked a very good question. So Kienyeji, does it mean a Kienyeji ni dark-skinned lady?
Maybe no. Because you said from the village.
So Kienyeji ni wa village?
I don't know.
So Nairobi hakuna Kienyeji? Ndo broiler. Ndo broiler. Sasa Kienyeji ni okay, define Kienyeji because niliona hata mmoja wa Kibera akasema yeye ni Kienyeji, na Kibera sio si village.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So what is a Kienyeji? So my question, I'll ask you another question. So if I get a prayerful woman, if I get a prayerful woman, a woman who has been brought up in the village but she's light skin, is she a Kienyeji? That's a question. Is she a Kienyeji?
No. We'll know.
She's not a Kienyeji. So Kienyeji lazima kuwe dark skin. So nikipata dark skin na ako Nairobi, yeye ni Kienyeji. So what's the definition of this Kienyeji thing that watu wameniwekea wamekuwa Kienyeji Pro Max? Wewe acheni kwa category.
Mostly watu wanaona like Kienyeji ni lady wako very natural, it doesn't use makeup. Yeah, ana mambo mingi sana.
Yeah. So ni para dem amegrow shago na anapiga makeup wewe si Kienyeji.
And what was your reason of kutaka them from the village?
No, you see, sometimes it's just about connectivity. I just felt like, you know, for me, I grew up in Charles. I came to Nairobi after my fourth form. You understand? So after high school is when I came to Nairobi, and then nika Nairobianized by the culture and everything. But looking back, I believe I can connect more maybe with a woman or a lady who has been brought up in the village. So that was just my only preference. It's not about the complexion. It's not about you understand? Because there are so many beautiful women in Nairobi. There are so many nice women in Nairobi. But sometimes I just say that because of the connection that I felt at that moment. By that I mean that because people are saying, huyu anatafuta tu mtu mwenye anataka kumdominate. No. I know people who kama mimi nimesema ushago, nimelelewa ushago, but you can't just come from anywhere and dominate. You understand?
Yeah.
I know so many ladies who grew up in shags, who grew up in the village, they went to school in the village, but they're very bright. You understand? So it doesn't mean that if I prefer someone from the village, necessarily I'm looking for someone who is in lower class or something. No.
Okay, Daddy. So
Yeah.
I think
Uliza bana.
kama unatoroka point.
Ebu uliza.
Uko na mtu au unatafuta?
Sina mtu.
So unatafuta.
Okay. Sitafuti. Because for me at that moment, miss the introduction. Nilisemaje? Umemiss. Nilisemaje? Ni kama unifanya interview sahi. Unaelewa? Alafu uniulizaje? Are you dating someone? I was like, I'm not dating. Are you planning to date? Nikamwambia, not soon. And then akaniulizaje? So when you start dating, when? You understand? When you start dating, which kind of a woman are you looking for? And that's what I said. I look for a woman who has been brought up in the village, a God-fearing person, and a dark-skinned lady.
Na recently kumekuwa na 2 ladies I think walijitokeza na placards.
Yes.
Wakaandika hapo they're interested in you.
Yes.
Wakaandika kila kitu pale. Je, umejaribu kuwafikia na kuongelesha?
No, you know the worst thing is, I don't want to look like I'm taking advantage of people's emotions. You understand? Because it can be very, all of you guys know I'm born again Christian. When I'm ready, but I don't want to look like I'm taking advantage of the hype that is going on right now, and I'm taking advantage of people's emotions. Because you see, life, what I discovered is when I went to my inbox, I discovered, there are so many women who are looking for someone. You understand? Of course, I can't say that is a criteria I can use, because someone who's in the inbox, of course, ni mtu ameniona, but anijui, ajui character yangu, ajui tabia zangu, anijui mimi ni mtu aina gani, you understand? So you can't just come from anywhere and useme umeninoki na umenilike na, you understand? All these things, there's a system that can work around it. We can work around it. But at the moment, when I say that, I don't want to look like I'm taking anyone's advantage. I don't take advantage of anyone's emotions. So I can't start calling that lady and compare to, oh, Paul, that is taking advantage of someone's emotions. Because people are genuine. You understand?
Yeah.
Maybe she's genuine. Maybe the others who are not genuine, but maybe she's genuine. So you don't want to make her feel like you've rejected her. Because her intentions maybe are very clear. So you don't want to look like you're rejecting someone. And who ni mtoto wa mtu bana? Yeah.
Last year kuna motion ilikuwa anza pale Huruma Grounds.
Yeah.
Eldoret.
Yeah.
Kusema kwa vijana wasitumike. Labda kuna target campaign ama ajenda yake ilikuwa gani? Kwa sababu nakumbuka ulisema kwa utakuwa na rallies kila county.
Yeah.
So far hujaongelea.
The problem was at that time tunafanya hizo campaign, ilianza ku every town nilikuwa naenda ku visit, there were politicians who wanted to be part of it. And the problem is when a politician akishaingia kwa event yako, of course your politician ni wa mrengo fulani. So I didn't want to look like I'm supporting a certain politician, because all you guys know, when it comes to politics, I'm always very apolitical. I don't support any side. I don't look like I'm supporting any side. I have my own preference. I have people who I know I support. I have people who I know I vote for. But because my fans come from all divides, I wouldn't want to look like napatia huyu kipaumbele kuliko huyu. So that's why I stopped those campaigns.
Na upande wa muziki, tukirudi kwa muziki kiasi tu. Tumekuona umepotea kiasi. Sijui kama tujakuwa tukiona kitu ngoma recently. Je, nini na happen saizi kwa life yako?
Mambo ni mob zina happen kwa life yangu sahi. There's so much if you know, I'm very vocal when it comes to person living with disabilities. So sahi kama as we speak right now, nimejenga children's home in Eldoret na kuifungua December 3rd. Apart from that, we are building a hospital around in Kijabe. So nafanya vitu zina impact kubwa kwa society kuliko just music. That zina take so much of my time to a level whereby I can't even go to the studio and record and do videos. At the same time, I'm so much into business. I do so many business huku nje zenye maybe because aziko kwa social media watu wanashindwa mbona umenyamaza hivyo, but I have so many businesses that I'm doing out here zenye aziko kwa social media, because sometimes I always say kuna biashara zingine siwezi taka kuunganisha na muziki, na kuna biashara zenye whatever I portray in my platforms is what I want you guys to see. Zile staki na keep private.
I was asking, the main reason that you are here is because of the Kenyan artists, now what they are facing. What do you think is the main problem that is happening in the Kenyan industry now?
I think what is lacking in the Kenyan music industry is the togetherness. You see, all these other things is people taking advantage of our divides, our lack of togetherness. But if we come together, no one can come and even if it's no, in your village or in your area where you live right now, of course there are people, there are families that you normally see and they say these are very strong family. These families become strong when guys are like a unit and they come together. That family you can't play around with it. Kama ni shamba, kama ni nini, you can't play around with it. So the same thing with music. When musicians come together and form a great unit, no one will come and play around with our art. No one will come and play around with whatever we do. So with guys take advantage because they know that these guys are not united. And when they're not united, it's so easy to divide them. It's so easy to take advantage of them. It's so easy to eat their money because where will they go? But when you guys come together and lobby for something to happen, it's different. Everyone is scared of you. We normally see Uber guys strike. We normally see teachers strike. You understand? But we never see musicians do that. So if you lack that unity, if you lack that coming together for one common cause, trust you me, it's going to be very hard for you to stand because a house without a strong foundation will never stand.
And the reason as to, we have seen the likes of Eric Omondi helping you guys support for parliament that they should be playing 75% of Kenyan music. Mbona tujamwona leo at least msaidiane pamoja to push this thing?
That's a very good example of what I'm saying. If we can't stand with one agenda, it's going to be very hard. For me, I believe Eric Omondi has a very good heart, and Eric, he comes from a point of he knows what Kenyan musicians are facing. So whatever his agenda is, of course we'll see the productivity later. We'll see the fruits later. But as of now, maybe there are people who don't understand what he's doing. Maybe the media, maybe the musicians, maybe the stakeholders don't understand what Eric is doing. But maybe in future we look back and say, hey, whatever Eric was saying was right or he was wrong. Time will tell.
Sasa kuna Kienyeji huko nje. Kuna Amepata hivi na kuna elimu zake sina.
Kana mimi noki. Na kanijui. Kana jua tu ule musician kana kwa TV. Mwambie asikuwe blinded na TV bana. We are different people, but when you meet me on TV, on social media, anywhere, I'm a very different person from the real because what you see is Daddy Owen, but my personality as Owen Mwatia can be very different from what many people don't know. I'm more of an introvert. I don't like talking. To be very honest, ask my friends, they'll tell you. I'm more. It's just because I'm out here and I have to talk, I have to be in the media and all that. That's what makes me, everyone thinks that this guy is an introvert. He's an extrovert. But I'm more of an introvert. I like being alone. I like staying alone. I like doing things all alone. So maybe you'll come to my life and find it to be so boring, man. To be so boring. But at the end of the day, I always say, if you're looking for someone, look for someone who's really genuine, someone who you can grow together, someone who can understand what you like, what you don't like, someone who can grow together, someone who you have the same passion and direction and vision. If you don't have the same passion, direction and vision, nothing will ever work. And at the end of the day, put God first.
Are you going back to singing?
Yeah, I'm even as we speak right now, I'm recording an album in the studio. It's just the way I used to be active like 5 years ago. Maybe I'm not at that level, but hopefully, and I'm praying next year I can go back to being active as I used to be.
Sasa kwa sasa saizi mafans wanafaa wajue saizi Daddy Owen hatafuti mtu atol.
Sasa kusema sasa unye mambo ya roho nataka to very clear. Mambo ya roho huwezi amulia roho ati saizi tafuti. You understand? Mambo ya roho, even all of you guys here, maybe you ushai fall in love. Ukukaa chini ukasema next year January natafuta Charlie ama next year January natafuta Dame, si ndio? Reality. Yeah. Mambo ya roho ni mambo ya roho. You never know. Maybe you'll meet someone and they'll sweep you off your feet and they'll be like, hey, nimejipataje hapa. So, you never know mambo ya roho. At the moment, I don't have someone, but mambo ya roho, siwezi bishana na roho. Roho yangu si ya mawe ama ya chuma. Roho yangu ni ya nyama. Yeah. Sawa?
Okay, thank you.